good morning to you right here from the Communication Center at Citizen TV. My name is Willis Aburu. We begin our coverage of the submission of nomination papers for the presidential candidates, and it will be live as you have seen there. The KICC crews are already set and standing by, and of course the teams are already there. IEBC officials are already also set in, and our reporter Sam Gituku is live at KICC. You want to cross over right to him right now. Sam, we believe that the first person who's supposed to start is Dr. Ekuru Aukot of the Third Way Alliance of Kenya. Has he arrived? What is the situation? What is going on at the KICC?
Yes, good morning, Raburu. As you said, Professor Ekuru Aukot is already here. He is behind me. He is actually walking to the room where he will be being assessed on whether he is fit to vie for presidency. And maybe you can try to talk to him just before the IEBC commissioners get to talk to him. Just a moment. How do you feel this moment?
I'm feeling great. We've started this journey 1.5 years ago. Actually, we were the first party to declare our intent for the presidency of this country. The others just came much later. In other words, we actually led in our intent to run this country. So I'm feeling good by going out to present my papers and to begin telling Kenyans what agenda I have for them. Yes.
Is everything okay in order?
Everything is okay. My lawyer has verified, my supporters are verified, our SG is here. They have informed me everything. My running mate, Emmanuel Nzai, is here. So everything is fine. We are good to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, all the best.
Thank you.
So, Rabur, we take a walk with the presidential candidate, Ekuru Aukot. As he says, he's ready to present his papers. He says he's confident, so we'll be tracking him until we get to the room where he will be presenting his papers. And of course, Raburu, he's just the first among 10, a list of 10 presidential candidates who have gotten this opportunity to be assessed whether they will be running for presidency. Of course, initially we had a list of 8, but now that has risen to 10, bearing in mind that there have been some considerations by the electoral body IEBC to the indication that there are some who had been locked out, but now they have been cleared to be among the 10. So we understand that we have to be a little patient because now Ekuru Aukot is being introduced, but first the national anthem, Raburu.
Kwetu haki iwe ngao na mlinzi, na tukae na undugu, amani na uhuru, raha tupate na ustawi. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We have our first aspirant, Dr. Ekuru Aukot, and his running mate, Mr. Emmanuel Kombe Nzai. The candidate, the aspirant, is currently going through the verification process and will be joining the returning officer to present the documents. Party officials, you are please requested to take your seats. Party officials accompanying the aspirant, Ekuru Aukot, as well as the family members accompanying the aspirant, could you please take your seats at the front?
Okay. Okay. Right, Raburu, so currently the Professor Ekuru Aukot is being processed. He has already registered his name and he is being checked from the system of IEBC whether everything is in order. And so after this process he'll be going to where he needs to sit, but first he is being presented with the file of his documents which he'll be using while being processed by the IEBC commissioners here. And so there he proceeds to where the aspirants are supposed to be sitting, the presidential aspirants, and the running mate, the designate, are taking their positions. As you can see, the 7 commissioners are here to process these candidates, or rather the aspirants, and after this they will be candidates if they are cleared by IEBC. So we will be listening. There is Ekuru Aukot and his running mate Emmanuel, and also some two other gentlemen. One is a proposer and the other one is a seconder. And so the process begins. Ekuru Aukot presenting his documents to the returning officer of the presidential election, who is the IEBC chair, Professor, or rather by the name Wafula Chebukati. So the process begins. Let's see if you can listen into what the IEBC chair is saying.
Your national ID. We want to make sure that you are a Kenyan. Yeah, good.
To assess whether the papers are in order or something will be wrong, and also now require them that they be knocked out. But that is a process that we'll later see. Of course, looking also at the credentials of the aspirants, that is to do with the presidential, or rather the certification, the academic certification that they have, to see if they have a valid degree certificate, which is a very important component in this consideration of in this election, because it's a requirement. Let's listen into what the chairman has to say.
Right, I check. Okay. So we shall issue a receipt. Yeah, for the check.
Deposit with a bank account for them to be considered for nomination, that is the presidential aspirants.
And you have given us a check for Kenya shillings 200,000. It's a banker's check. So we shall proceed to issue the official receipt. Yes.
So Raburu, the aspirant, has been cleared in as far as the nomination fee is concerned. The chairman, IEBC chairman, says that the 200,000 shilling check that has been deposited with IEBC can be verified, and so we are going to proceed on to issue the official receipt that shows that has happened. And so the aspirant is clear not to proceed on with the other considerations and the assessment. But it's also important, Raburu, to note here that in as much as IEBC is conducting this process, they have been going through a lot of vetting, and so the chances are high that people who have already been cleared to this process, the chances are high that they also be cleared to be candidates. But of course there could be other considerations that may be being put in place or being taken, so we'll be expecting to hear what those exceptions are and who will not make it despite having been vetted and cleared to come to this process. Once again, Raburu, to indicate that you may see some dead moments, some silence here, but all this is expected. This is time to allow the commissioners to go through the entire process. We understand that all the candidates have been allocated 1 hour per candidate, and that is why even the scheduling, the programming, according to the program, they have 1 hour allocation. Like the first candidate coming in at 9, the expectation is that they will be here until 10 o'clock, and then the commission will take a break of 15 minutes and to come back with the second candidate at 10:15. So essentially this is it will be...
The aspirant has provided us the check. Our team is looking at the check in order to provide the receipt required. The commissioners are also reviewing the documents to confirm that what the chairman and the vice chair have seen is proof of all the documents being provided to us. And in the meantime, we are also preparing other documents that will require the candidate, that will be providing to the candidate as we finalize the process. So just bear with us. We need a few minutes to just go through those few procedures. I thank you very much.
Right, Raburu, as you heard from the Commissioner, Rosalind Kumboka, indicating that the process is still on. Having verified the check, they need to issue their official receipt. And of course, so many other considerations that they have to put in place to be in a position to ensure that the aspirants have complied with the laid out procedures, the laid out requirements. And so we'll be expecting to see things moving shortly so that the process can continue. But essentially here, Raburu, you must have seen the chair and the vice chair going through the documentation of the Kuru Court. And so what's happening right now, the other commissioners are going through them to furnish themselves, to satisfy themselves that this has been put in place in the correct order. And so we'll be expecting to hear from them. If they give an okay, then the process continues until there can be a determination on whether a Kuru Court will be a candidate or will remain as an aspirant moving on to the election 2017.
Chairman of IEBC and returning officer of the presidential election in Kenya, having reviewed documents presented before me, certify that Dr. Ekuru Aukot and his running mate the name of the Emmanuel Nzai, have made the qualifications to vie for the position of President and Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya in the general elections coming up on the 8th of August this year. I want to congratulate you and for these coming elections. I appreciate the fact that Kenya is a young democracy, and you're offering yourself to stand is a sign that individuals like you mean well for the growth of democracy in this country. I also want to inform you that you are free to go and campaign anywhere in Kenya. Don't be told that here and this is your place or this. Go anywhere in Kenya, sell your policies to the Kenyan people, but in doing so, ensure that the electoral code of conduct is observed, because there are penalties for candidates if you go beyond what's prescribed in the electoral code of conduct. And also ensure that your party follows the same electoral code of conduct which they also signed earlier on in the year. And lastly, I want to wish you well in the campaigns, and congratulations once again. So this is your certificate. You'll be signed by the returning officer. Where is this receipt?
It's here.
Okay. Yeah. These are your documents. What we have added is the receipt for the money paid. Yes. So I wish you well.
As we prepare for him to go and present his papers with the IEBC, I pray, God, that you will go before him. I pray, God, that you will order his steps and even his stops. Bless him, Lord, as we come out of the house. Bless him as we go to the KICC. And bless him even as he goes through Nairobi to Jacaranda grounds to speak to the Kenyans in Nairobi. Lord, I pray that you shall anoint him. You shall cover him with your precious blood. Protect him with your hedges of protection, and give him wisdom and knowledge that comes from you. I pray for Mama Ida. Give her the wisdom and the knowledge and the support that she gives him as his helper and his wife and the incoming First Lady. I thank you and I bless you for this wonderful time. Bless him, God, and bless Kenya. For it is in Jesus' name I pray and believe. Amen.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
How do you feel today?
I'm okay, I'm fine.
How do you feel very elated about this day? What are the prospects?
Well,
look in high spirits.
No, we are very, very high spirits generally. Today is basically significant in the sense that we are going to present our documents to the IEBC, and that is going to be the formal nomination, so that the official campaign can start for the elections which will be held on the 8th of August this year.
This is the fourth time you're doing it. What does the day today symbolize for you and the larger NASA family?
It is a special day for us in the NASA family. As you know, it has taken us time to get the NASA vehicle together. We now are here as NASA, and we mentioned just a few days ago that the journey has begun. And this is a crucial moment for us. It is one of the defining moments in this journey. We are determined to join Kenyans to bring change to our country. So we are calling this the culmination of many years of the struggle by the people of Kenya to reach the glory land. And today we are going to be talking about our journey through the desert into where we are today, and we are poised to cross the river to reach the glory land. So this is going to be my message today.
Mama Ida, today is also a good day for you. How do you feel about it?
I'm happy about today. Today is a significant day in the lives of Kenya and also in our life as a family. And I'm delighted it has come. I would say this is the day that the Lord has made. We should be happy, be glad, and rejoice in it.
You feel that this is the time?
This is the time. This is the right time. And the time is here. The time has come.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You've done this before. How different is it for you this time as compared to other times?
Well, I've done it before. But you know, the last two other times, I knew that you were in to succeed, and so is today. It has never been brighter than it is today.
So this is the time that Raila will be the president of
This is the time. This is the time. But I'm not only looking at him, but I'm looking and thinking about all the Kenyans. It has been a long way. I think when the struggle began, in my part, must have started way back before some of you were born, way back in 1982. And it has been a long journey.
Thank you.
We are coming to the end of the journey.
Thank you.
So we're going to
because it has been for the longest time, and that's the message we are taking out there to Kenyans.
Maybe probably if you may talk to your running mate so that he can introduce himself to the Kenyans.
By the way, we should introduce more of our running mate. Come here. We have women aspirants from Garissa, Governor Salah. So we have a big team here.
Okay. But let's speak to your running mate. And first of all, your name is Emmanuel, but what is your campaign plan like as you roll out to the August general election?
Well, first of all, I truly appreciate this opportunity. I think we need to really thank a lot of people for the whole process to where we are. This is a third milestone from what we see. There was the first milestone, which simply it was a movement where a lot of people went through the country. Dr. Ekuru Aukot led the whole conversation about third way. There must be alternative leadership. The second milestone was to have a party registered, which was, you guys know it. It was not an easy thing, and a lot of people worked very hard here to make sure this happened. So today, I think it marks a new journey in this conversation now with the Kenyan people. So our campaign strategy is very simple. We want to talk to the Kenyan people. They need to know that they have an alternative leadership, and it's not only what the others want us to believe in Kenya, that it's only two horses. The Kenyan people will now have an option, a very good option for them in terms of their choice of leadership.
Okay. All right, thank you so much, and congratulations for Rabura, as you had there the first presidential candidate to be declared from the Third Way Alliance Party, Ekuru Aukot, and his running mate Emmanuel. So they're indicating that they are ready to roll as they gear towards the August general election. They're saying that their campaign strategy emphasizes on getting to ensure that all the historical injustices that have been performed by different administrations against Kenyans, that they are addressed. And he says that despite the assumption that it's a two-horse race between President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga, they're saying that they're bringing in a camel into the race. So we'll be expecting to see how that campaign program, how that campaign process rolls out as they get towards the general election. But also now we need to focus on the next candidate who is coming in any moment now. He had been scheduled to come in at 9:15, but bearing in mind that it's already 9:15, 9:14 from my watch, we'll be expecting to see how soon he can be coming through. His name is Abdu Badida, who is running on the Alliance for Real Change. So let's try and see if we can get to find him at the holding room where the presidential contenders are being held before they can go through to the panel of IEBC commissioners to be processed, to have their papers processed and cleared all but from running. So let's see if we can find him from the same location so that we know how the process will be running this morning. And unfortunately, Raburu, he is not here. We don't know where he is, but he could be around this KICC, the Kenyatta International Convention Center. So let's try to check the other room if we can find the candidate from that side. But we suspect that this could be the holding room for the IEBC commissioners, and yes, this is the holding room for IEBC commissioners. That is the chairman, Wafula Chebukati, and the team of the other commissioners, of course, taking a break from that nomination process with Ekuru Aukot. So we will hand it back to you so that we can have a moment to wait for the other presidential contenders to come through. Of course, we'll be linking with you as soon as we can find the other candidate. But for now, back to you, Raburu.
All right, thank you very much. As you can see, there's Sam Gituku continuing the search for Muhammad Abduba Dida, the Alliance for the Real Change. We'll be linking up with him a little bit later on. But in case you're just joining us, this is the coverage of the presidential candidates as they submit their papers to the IEBC. Dr. Ekuru Aukot has already submitted his papers and has been cleared by the IEBC chair, Wanyonyi Wafula Chebukati, and so he's been cleared to go ahead and campaign, and he has been reminded that he's free to campaign anywhere in the country so long as he adheres with the electoral code of conduct. Now, of course, also early on we heard from the NASA flag bearer, Raila Odinga, who was at his home in Karen, saying that he's also ready, and that basically the rally that will be after he submits his papers will be talking about the journey that they've had and the changes that they propose to make. So here's a list of the people who are going to be submitting their papers, a list of 8, but now 10. Let's take a look at who they are. Right, so we have President Uhuru Kenyatta of Jubilee, NASA's Raila Odinga, Ekuru Aukot, who we've just seen over there as well. The others are Justice Juma, Michael Oanana, Joe Nyaga, and Cyrus Jirongo. That is the IEBC shortlist. These are the ones who are eliminated: Peter Gishira, Michael Orenge, Mudhiora Kariara, Nazlin Umar Rajput, David Munga, and also Erastus Masira, who's now actually been cleared, Peter Osotsi, and Japhet Kavinga, who has also been cleared now, and Stephen Oganga. So just to update you, the list now includes Erastus Nyamira Masira, who is no longer eliminated, but he's on the list. He's going to present his papers today, and Japhet Kavinga Kaluyu, who was on that list, as you can see there, previously eliminated, but now he has been cleared. His name is among the 10 who will be appearing today. Let's take a look at that list and who exactly will be appearing today in terms of the timelines. Alright, want to take a look at, so like we've seen, the Ekuru Aukot of the Third Way Alliance has just submitted his papers. Sam Gituku was looking for Muhammad Abduba Dida, who's supposed to be next. We'll be joining him later on, and as I told you, Japhet Kavinga Kaluyu, who was on the previous list of those eliminated, he is running as an independent candidate. He is now been allowed to buy. He's bringing his papers in at around 10:30. Japhet Raila Molo Odinga of the Orange Democratic Movement, NASA, is bringing his papers at 11:45, and Joseph William Ndiga Nyaga will be bringing his papers at 1:15. So that is, as far as that is concerned, they are supposed to be presenting their papers a little bit later on. So we'll continue with our coverage of this. We want to link up with Mike Agwanda, who is with us in studio, to just offer an overview. Mike, what is the general feeling for you in terms of as they finally submit their papers and kickstart their official campaigns?
Thank you. Well, this is a big day for the presidential aspirants and those who are having an ambition to be president of Kenya. And as I can see, the list is bigger than I thought. I thought by this time most of them will have decided that it is not worth it. I think we're just taking a political limelight for no good reason. Perhaps we need to go home and rest and just leave the 2 horses to look at this race, and from those 2 horses decide on who becomes the president of Kenya. But you've seen that a number of people are still lined up. I know we have the likes of Dida, who is coming in again for the second time to run for president. My worry is some of these names are names that have not been heard in the political arena. Some of them are names of very learned people, very smart people like Dr. Ekuru Aukot, who actually was part of the new constitution. And let them not come out openly to campaign. I don't think presidential ambition only comes a week or 2 months to or 3 months of the election, as you know, the way we've seen a number of these presidential candidates coming out now. I haven't seen them you know, running in every part of this country trying to ask people for votes, and so I really don't know what's up you know, in their sleeves and what they are holding for us to sort of expect them to do well in this forthcoming, upcoming campaign and also election. But we are here to wait and see what perhaps they're going to tell Kenyans as their ambitions. And during the presidential debate that is also coming in the next few weeks, we hope to hear them. And I can tell you, some of them you're going to hear them for the first time. You're going to see them for the first time on TV, and whether they will be crowding the arena and the message that we'll be getting from the two hosts or not is we'll wait to see. But the reality is, it is the time when the rubber now hits the road, and when the rubber hits the road is these people will be expected. And I can also expect a number of them who are coming to present their papers to IEBC today. Some of them might possibly even be rejected. I know about 3 of them have been already passed. Honorable Raila, Odinga, of course, Dr. Ekuru Aukot, of course, and some of them will be coming. We don't know whether all of them will be cleared by IEBC, but we'll wait to see you know, how they want to start their campaign after that, because presidential campaign is a very, very expensive endeavor, and it comes now with a lot of glamour and pomp. It comes now with a lot of materials and logistics that are involved, and so it is an interesting day. I want to see how many will be cleared today, and I want to see perhaps how many will be blocked from running.
And also, Mike, that's an interesting point you put across there. It's also been a subject of discourse on social media and just the general feeling of the public, where we have these 10 presidential candidates, like you said, they might be cleared, they might not be cleared, but you know, just like you said, what should be done? Because I know, the qualifications as per Article 137 is that you just basically need to be a citizen by birth, and you have attained, of course, the age of 18 to run for president. But what can be done maybe in future in terms of the qualifications, so that you are, you have a pool of quote-unquote serious candidates, if you like, and then those also, but also not diminishing the rights, the democratic right of these people to survive.
These people have a democratic right to run for any position in this country. For president or governor, all you need is a degree, and after that, there are, the other requisite papers that will be needed. You'll be needed to have at least gotten a clearance from CID. You'll be needed to have a clearance from Anti-Corruption Authority, ESCC. You'll be needed to have Higher Education Load Board clear you. You'll be needed to have CRB cleared you that you're not in debt, neither are you being auctioned for that matter. You'll be needed to also be able to be a man that can be defined by Chapter 6 of the Constitution, a man of integrity, a man perhaps that has not been involved in other matters of corruptions in the past, a man that perhaps has not been jailed in the last 6 months. These are some of the requirements that will be needed. But besides that, for presidential contenders, they will be required to have signatures from all over the country to be able to present to IEBC. Whether they will be able to do that, that's quite a task, because I think the expectation is very high in terms of these people collecting signatures. And remember, the requirement is in 24 different counties, and so they will be expected at least to get signatures from 24 different countries. I can guarantee you that some of these presidential aspirants that we're seeing their names today, and perhaps they will be presenting their papers today, have not necessarily gone to 24 different counties to collect signatures to be presented to IEBC. If they'll be looking at that, I know Honorable Raila Odinga has presented 60,000 names of voters to IEBC, and that he did. I know President Uhuru has collected more than 100,000 names that will be, voters, names of voters that will be presented to IEBC. what I don't know is whether these other presidential aspirants have already submitted those requirements to IEBC. Now, if they haven't, perhaps those are some of the technical reasons that some of them might be rejected as a result of not presenting those papers. So whether they have all those papers or not, I believe that Dr. Ekuru Okot that has been cleared, I believe Honorable Raila Odinga that has been cleared, have met all those conditions, because those are the conditions that have been put out there besides just having a degree that enables you to run for president.
All right, of course, also just inform our viewers, as you can see there on the side, the pictures of the presidential candidates, Raila Amolo Odinga, or rather the NASA flag bearer, because he's yet to be cleared by IEBC. The NASA flag bearer, Raila Amolo Odinga, he is on his way to the All Saints Cathedral, and we are continuing our coverage of that. As you can see there, we have our crew following him there, and also there is a crew that will be set up at the All Saints Cathedral. Stephen Leto, who is a reporter, will be joining us from there. And also, like we said earlier, like you saw earlier, or in case you're just joining us, Sam Gituku is at KICC at around 9:15. As per the schedule, Mohammed Abdul Badida was supposed to present his papers, but I guess because there was a slight delay, so we'll be crossing over to him over there as well to find out if Mohammed Abdul Badida has come. Now, Mike, you were here while the NASA candidate, the NASA flag bearer, was speaking, and he also talked about he also talked about how crucial this is, sort of like the last bullet, and we've been hearing that as well. Maybe you can paint a picture for us as well for how crucial is this journey now for the NASA flag bearer.
This is a very crucial time for Honorable Raila Odinga, who has been minister in this country in the past government. He's been jailed in the past government. Raila Odinga has also, been the prime minister of this country in a government of unity that took place during President Kibaki's time. And Raila Odinga has seriously run for president for the last 2 seasons, and almost 3 seasons actually. And in those 3 seasons, twice in 2007, 2008 election, he was believed to have won the election. In 2013, Raila camp still believes that they won the election, that it was just manipulated. Remember, Honorable Raila is not growing younger anytime sooner. And if anything, age is really catching up with him, and that's a concern. And there were a lot of concern whether he was going to run for 2017 general election or not. But I can tell you, today is a confirmation that Raila is going to run as president of, for the president of Kenya in August 8th. Now, what makes this very, very peculiar is Raila is realizing that he's not growing any younger anytime sooner. As a result, he needs to put a formidable fight, a fight than no any other fight that he's ever fought. Simply because there's a younger generation that is coming up that really does not know the history of this country and does not know how Raila has suffered in this country for many years for issues of human rights. There is also a generation that is coming that really does not know about the past president. In fact, they're reading about Kenyatta in our books, but they really don't resonate with his policies or what he did for this country other than being the founder of this country. Well, as we can see, Raila has been in politics long enough, and being in politics long enough sometimes will call for a time off, and I think it's reaching a time where Kenyans are saying, well, he's over 70 years old, and if he doesn't make it this time round, how sure are we that he will be able to make it when he will be close to 80 years? And so he's also said that this is the best that he's ever had. You've had his wife, Ida, saying that this is the right time, this is the best time they've ever had. And so I can tell you that they are giving what many people will call the last kick of a dying horse. It is that kick that if it gets anybody on the way, it's going to kill that very, very person. And as a result, I can tell you that the country is also watching. The electorates are also watching. They want to give him a chance, I believe. And that chance is perhaps that chance you say, this is the last chance we're giving you. If you don't make it, we will be looking at other opportunities. And the main reason why that is also happening is because, man, you can only vote up to a certain time. Sometimes it becomes monotonous when you constantly vote and you and you don't get your men on the ballot box. You don't get your men to win. And the main question of a foul game that perhaps has been robbed of his victory, perhaps the elections were stolen. I mean, people are suddenly realizing that this perhaps need to stop. He wins or it doesn't, and then people can look for other opportunities. All right, thank you very much. Of course, also just to remind guys, as you can see, that is the motorcade of NASA flag bearer Raila Odinga heading to All Saints Cathedral. Stephen Leto is at All Saints Cathedral. We want to link up with Stephen Leto right now, where we saw some of the other candidates, other aspirants as well in NASA arrive there. We want to link up with him. Leto, tell us what is happening at the All Saints Cathedral, even as we wait for the NASA flag bearer to arrive there. Stephen? Right, we seem to be having a sort of sound hiss there, but we're going to be trying to link up with him again. But again, in case you're just joining us, we are covering the presidential date with IEBC, as you can see there. Now, what is going to happen? As you can see, the motorcade is now at Gong Road. That is the motorcade of Raila Odinga. Earlier on, Dr. Ekuru Court of the Hardware Alliance was officially cleared by IEBC to vie there. And so we are waiting next for Muhammad Abdul Badida at the KIC, and Sam Gituku will be bringing us that update from the IEBC. Stephen Leto, on the other hand, is at the All Saints Cathedral, and we are going to cross over to him right now. Leto, what's happening at the All Saints Cathedral?
Well, a very good morning there, Willis Zaburi in studio. Like you've put it right, the presidential aspirant for the National Super Alliance, Raila Odinga, has left his current home and is headed right straight to the All Saints Cathedral, where he's supposed to attend a short service, whereby before heading to the Kenyatta International Convention Center for the presentation of the nominations papers for his presidency. And so right here at the All Saints Cathedral, a lot of leaders, several leaders have already arrived here. We've seen a short while ago ANC boss, who is also the NASA co-principal, Musalia Mudavadi, getting in. We've seen a host of governors, including Mombasa Governor Ali Hassan Joho, as well as Kakamega's Wycliffe Oparanya, Busia's Sospita Jamong, and other co-principals are already here, including CCM boss, CCM party leader Isaac Ruto. All are here waiting for the arrival of Raila Odinga before the service kicks off. A very short service, we are told, before they get ahead to the KICC, where IEBC is at hand to receive them and really receive their nomination papers before they are cleared. Then they will be now qualified to be called presidential candidate. But for now, Raila Odinga is still an aspirant for the National Super Alliance, and after that clearance is when now he will become a candidate for the National Super Alliance. But here, any moment from now, he is on his way. We are told that any minute from now, the ODM leader, who is also the presidential aspirant for the NASA team, will be here for a very short service. These are coming at a time. Remember, this is the first batch of the presidential aspirants who will be presenting their papers, and so the NASA team has chosen to kick off their itinerary today here at the All Saints Cathedral, whereby we are told a short service of about 15 to 20 minutes before then they head to the KICC. A lot will be happening here. A lot of leaders we've seen here, leaders from the Wiper Party, ANC, Ford Kenya leaders are also present here, also ODM leaders, all are outside here to receive him. But as you can see outside, there is a lot of activities going on. Several leaders attending, appearing, or just arriving at the All Saints Cathedral, where they are supposed to be having a short prayer service. We are anticipating that it will not take long, because because of the way the time is really moving fast, and with the packed itinerary that the National Super Alliance has crafted for today. Remember, they are also having a launch rally at the Jacaranda grounds, that is in Donholm, Eastlands, part of Nairobi. And so, Raburu, for now, we will be waiting for him to come. We know a lot is happening in and around the All Saints Cathedral. We've seen we've seen what we call a heightened security. We've seen a very thorough security checks at the gates there. But again, what we see at the entrance, just the congregation getting in alongside the leaders will be getting in, or will be who are accompanying the NASA presidential aspirant Raila Odinga. That will is of course trying to set a tempo of how this day is going to look like, a hype day for the NASA team and four others who will be presenting their presidential papers to the electoral agency IEBC. Willis, one also very important thing to note is the mode in which they are going to present those papers, the speed that is going to take, because we are told that they have slotted from 2 p.m. They will be outside these parts of town in the sides of Eastlands. That is for their major rally. Remember, they've also set a series of rallies after the Jacaranda grounds rally, where they are supposed now to start drumming up their support for the next general election. Remember, today, Willis, the 28th of May 2017, is the official launch of the presidential and all other campaigns for the August 8 polls. And so we expect a heated up and downs across the country. For here, particularly in Nairobi, there will be a lot of activities. We're having also the likes of Dida being cleared, Ekuru Court also going to the IEBC today. But of course, what the Kenyan political landscape refers to as the big fish, where the ODM leader is also the NASA presidential candidate, is also set to be presenting his papers ahead, where again tomorrow we will be having the Jubilee Party aspirant, that is President Uhuru Kenyatta, also doing the same and also lining up the same rallies, Willis. And so for now, we are keeping an eye on the gates of the All Saints Cathedral, where we are going to see the entourage of the NASA presidential aspirant Raila Odinga. Our team is also accompanying him along along Gong Road, whereby he just left his home in Karen about 10 minutes ago, and any moment from now we will be having him. For now, Willis, we are giving you the live pictures of what is transpiring, of what is happening here at the All Saints Cathedral. A lot of leaders keep on coming, Raburu, so we will be able to give you exactly what will be happening here at the All Saints Cathedral. For now, I hand you to studio, but we will be feeding you with live pictures of what will be happening here at the All Saints Cathedral. But we are told they are already at the what is called the Kenyatta Highway, whereby they are going now to make a U-turn at the roundabout before they get into this place, Baburu.
Let's even as we wait for the NASA flag bearer to arrive there, with just a question of you mentioned any of the other NASA co-principals present there, and if you said also that there's going to be a rally at the Jakarta grounds in Donholm. Do you have an idea of what the messaging will be?
Well, like you put it there, several other co-principals for the National Super Alliance have already made their way at the All Saints Cathedral. We have the NASA co-principal and ANC boss Musalia Mudavadi, who is also the nationwide chairperson of the NASA campaigns, is also here at the All Saints Cathedral. The Chama Cha Mashinani party leader, who is also a NASA co-principal, Isaac Ruto, who is also the Bomet governor, is also inside the All Saints Cathedral. We are also having several leaders, but so far we haven't seen the running mate for the National Super Alliance, that is Kalonzo Musyoka, is still not here. We're not aware whether they will be making an entry together here at the All Saints Cathedral, but what we understand, only two principals have already gotten inside the All Saints Cathedral, awaiting for the two leaders, that is Kalonzo Musyoka and Raila Odinga, who is the presidential aspirant for the NASA team. What we also have is several aspirants are also here. several governors from both the Orange Democratic Movement, the Wiper Party. We've seen Wavinya Ndeti, the former Kathiani member of Parliament, who is also the aspirant or the candidate for the Wiper Party or the NASA team as a whole in the Machakos gubernatorial race. We also having several leaders, the deputy party leaders for ODM, that is Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya of Kakamega, and Governor 001, that is Governor Ali Hassan Joho of Mombasa, is also here. And also the host governor, that is Governor 047, the governor for Nairobi, Dr. Evans Kidero, is also here, Waburu. And so any moments from now, Willis, at that gate, the entourage for the NASA team will be getting into the All Saints Cathedral. But the message here is basically seeking a divine intervention and kicking off the day with prayers. Remember, it is a significant day for the National Super Alliance as they mark the first day of campaigns ahead of the August 8th polls. What they say, they want to clinch the presidency come the 8th of August. Remember, they are running a slogan of 10 million strong, and that is what they will be doing across the 47 counties, starting today in Nairobi's Jacaranda grounds in Donholm. And so, Willis, we are still keeping an eye on that particular gate as that metal goes up and down. We are only hoping that the entourage is coming, but for now we understand that they are still making a slow entry into the Kenyatta Highway. But for now, we will give you those live pictures, and later on, or any moment from now, when the team lands at the All Saints Cathedral, we'll be able to link up with you again, Willis.
All right, thank you very much. Of course, Stephen Latour is there. We're still keeping a tab there at the All Saints Cathedral as we wait for the NASA flag bearer to check in. We understand that he's on Kenyatta Avenue, moving towards the All Saints Cathedral. As Stephen Latour has just said, the other NASA co-principals are already there, save for, as he said, Kalonzo Musyoka. But as we can see, there is actually the NASA flag bearer Raila Odinga arriving now at the All Saints Cathedral in a short while. As you can see there, some of the vehicles on there is his entourage. He's now arriving at the All Saints Cathedral for what Stephen Latour has told us is a very quick church service, and then from there they go to the KICC at the Sheba Hills, where IEBC will be waiting for him to present his nomination papers, and then from there they head to the Jacaranda grounds in Donholm for a rally, like Stephen Latour said, and like we heard from him earlier on in the morning, the messaging today about the journey that they're going to have they've had rather during this time, and what they want to do for Kenya. Stephen Latour says they're running a slogan 10 million strong, but the pictures you're seeing there, the All Saints Cathedral now live, the NASA flag bearer Raila Odinga is arriving there at the All Saints Cathedral. A lot of movement there, and they are there for a quick service, and then they will head over to the KICC. Mohammed Abdubadida in the meanwhile is getting ready to present his papers. He is from the Alliance for Real Change, and of course Mohammed Abdubadida, born 1975, married to 3 wives. Together they have 11 children. There he is there, the KICC, Mohammed Abdubadida, getting ready. And of course he contested in 2003 for the presidency under the same party, Alliance for Real Change. He's a teacher by training, taught at Lenana School, among other schools, and he emerged 5th in the 2013 presidential election with 52,848 votes. He is once again in the running for this particular time again, and the same running for president once more here. Mohammed Abdubadida for Alliance for Real Change at the KICC at the Sheba Hills. He is making his way to the holding room, and then he can then later on go ahead and present his paper. So there is the holding room. He is getting ready now. In just a short while he'll be making his way to present his papers, where he's set to go ahead and vie to get cleared to vie for the president of the country. Now, of course, the question would be, what exactly will he be submitting? Now, he has to submit certified copies of education qualifications, including a degree certificate in accordance with Section 22 of the Electoral Act 2011 and Regulation 47 of Elections, General Regulations of 2012. But meanwhile, again, as you can see, we cross over again to the All Saints Cathedral. That is Raila Odinga over there, and the national flag bearer there for church. At the back there, you can see Governor 47, that is Dr. Evans Kidero, also in the running to be the governor of Nairobi, among what is also another hotly contested seat there. And as you can see there also ANC party leader Musalia Mudavadi, as well as CCM Chama cha Mashinani, one Isaac Ruto, who is also the Bomet governor, Isaac Ruto, over there for the church service. As you can see, prayer time over there as they then later on head to KICC. Like we said, our coverage continues of the same. Let's just also listen in to what's happening there, and then we'll cross over. Our teams are all over. Similar to is at the All Saints Cathedral. We'll be linking up with Sam Gituku in a short while at the KICC as we continue our coverage. Let's listen in to All Saints Cathedral. Right, there you have it there. On one side of the screen there, NASA Raila Odinga in church, and the other side, Mohammed Abdubadida of the Alliance for Real Change is at the KICC, ready to present his papers because he is in the running to be the president of Kenya, and he's going to be set to wait, as Michael Gwanda says here, that there might be some people who will not be cleared. We're hoping that we'll see what will happen there. We can see our Sam Gituku also there getting ready as well, and we are going to get ready to link up with him. Sam, you finally found Dida. Let us know what exactly are his thoughts.
Yes, I finally found him. He has arrived just a few minutes ago. He was scheduled to come in at 9:15, but it's now 9:47, but he is here ready to present his papers. Let's try to talk to him just before he goes in and hear from him what he has to say. It's not yet time for him to go to the panel to meet the IEBC commissioners. But first of all, Abdul Badida, congratulations for making it to this point. And how do you feel this morning as you prepare to go and present your papers?
It was organized last time, yeah, because most of our time, this time was consumed by the signatures genuinely correct, have they been verified, and much of the time that will have been used to prepare us for this day was used in, are you there? Up to yesterday, 3-4 o'clock, we were just hanging. Yeah, I remember last year, those who qualified had a day with IEBC, one full day. Those who qualified. This time, all of us were called, the 20 or 19 plus presidential aspirants, and we were told it is a nomination day. And the signatures will be verified. Right. So, whose signatures have been accepted, who has been taken in or not, that was not known. It was embarrassing for you to pay the check and prepare if you were to be locked out. Yeah. So up to 4 o'clock yesterday, many candidates. I remember some were accepted in 6, and the banks were closed. The requirements were supposed to be. Some requested for the day to be pushed ahead. It was a bit difficult. So And other than that,
but for you, now that you're here, it means that you have at least met the basic requirements. How prepared are you to go ahead and defend your papers and declare this morning?
I have the experience. I have the experience.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
And you know, we want to improve this country and the entire humanity. So when that is a calling, we don't get frustrated or we don't get tired. It's a cause that we are ready to serve and to die for, if it's called for. I'm happy and IEBC has done its work, although they are also new. They didn't get a lot of time to have the experience in handling all this. We don't blame them, and the workload they have is also a lot.
Okay. We've seen you with quite a big team. Who are they?
These are my people. These are Kenyans and my family members and my many wives, my parents. I'm not supposed to go more than 4.
Okay.
Here. So my friends, the supporters, and Kenyans who wish well for us to succeed.
Just before I let you go, how different are you prepared? Because in 2013 you came in, I think, number 5 or 6, if I'm not wrong. How prepared are you this time to make it different so that you clinch number 1 position?
Teachers plan for they have what we call the scheme of work. We plan ahead of time, and as a teacher I'm always prepared. So the failure may come from the students, the Kenyans I want to teach. If the Kenyans will be good students this time,
yes,
I'm ready even to give remedial classes to those who will have a problem. But I think the lessons I prepared is enough with the prayers I made for them to understand what is good for them.
But how different is the strategy this time? Because last time we saw you, your main strategy was at the presidential debate, which you really did well. But this time, how different is the strategy and what is it?
Well, the lessons are simple this time. Very simple for a Mama Wanjiku to understand. Very simple. And as a requirement by the IEBC, we present a schedule of our campaign for the 2 months and 7 days. It will officially kick off on 30th. Up to 5th of August, we have presented the timetable that we will move to every county. We will talk to which town in which county at which time. All that has been. Yes, in form of meetings between 6 in the morning up to 6 in the evening every day for 2 months and 1 week.
All right, all the best, Mwalimu. Right, Raburu, that has been Abdu Badida, the candidate for Alliance for Real Change. He says that he's confident that this time round the strategy is a bit different. His focus is mainly on the Kenyans whom he is calling the students, and he believes that the lessons that he will be offering through his campaign period will be essential, that the students who are the voters will be getting it right. And so he is here with a big team, as he said, part of his family, part of his supporters, his proposer, his running mate, and we'll be hoping to see them go through the IEBC where the commissioners will be sitting. Let's just try and walk through there so that we see if the IEBC commissioners are ready to receive the candidate, so that we see how the process is getting to be ready. But we understand that the commissioners are yet to leave their waiting room because they're still preparing. So let's try and see from what is happening at the committee room, rather at the room where the candidates are supposed to be processed, what is happening there. And essentially our colleagues from the other media houses are still waiting for the candidate Abdu Badida. What is happening currently is that the IEBC officials here are trying to look at the documentation of the aspirants Abdu Badida, and then as soon as they are done, they will invite him, as well as the commissioners will come and take their seats to hear him and also make to assess whether he has met all the requirements that have been set. So Raburu, we will wait for the commissioners to come through, we'll wait for the candidate to come through, but as you can see from the pictures on your screen, those are the supporters of Abdu Badida presenting the documentation of the aspirant, as the IEBC officials here go through them to see what they contain, and as soon as they are done, then the remainder of the process will kick off. Raburu.
Thank you very much. That's Sam Gituku, who has been talking to Mohammed Abduba Dida. He says, and I quote, he is the teacher. The Kenyan public are the pupils, and he is ready. Perhaps it is the pupils who will fail him. He says he's also ready to offer what he calls remedial classes. Sam Gituku will be keeping tabs for us right there as well. I want to cross over to Mike Agwana, who's a political analyst. He's with us today. Mike, your thoughts on Dida? Second time round. Last time he came in 5th with 52,848 votes, at the time beating some seasoned politicians. Your thoughts on him this time around?
You know, I don't know what Mwalimu Dida wants to teach the nation. I believe if you're teaching a class, you got to have about a year of teaching, and then you give the child an exam, and examining on what you've been able to teach. The last I heard of Abduba Dida is the time he was appointed, I think, to head CDF or something like that, to chair that department. And then the parliamentarians call him aloof, or call him a clown, call him all sort of names, and then the position fizzled out, and they never confirmed him, and the government never gave him any other assignment to do, and he sort of just dissipated in on the face of the earth, and nobody heard about him. I didn't hear Abduba Dida going around the country and specifically, telling people that, look, I might have tried and I didn't quite make it, but I'm still, hopeful for this position. I'm still planning to run. I have a problem with people who are just showing up, the last 2 months, showing up and saying, I'm going to run for president. Nobody knows them. They've never gone out there looking for votes. Abduba Dida is one of those very, very characters. I mean, the question is, what mileage do they want to get through, presenting their papers for presidential, presidential competition, while they know very well, yes, it is their right, but they know very well that they're not going to end anywhere, and they know very well that they've not gone through this country to ask for vote. I mean, they'll be required to get votes in almost 24 different counties, and the question is, I've not heard Abduba Dida in Nyanza, I've not heard Abduba Dida in Eastern, I've not heard him at the coast, I've not heard him in Nairobi. I don't know what it does. I know he's a teacher, but I've not even heard him do town hall meetings. So the question is, what lesson is Abduba Dida going to teach us? I've not even heard Abduba Dida himself talking about the issues of corruption that people have been facing. He's not been talking about the issue of hunger that this country has been facing. I've not heard him talk about the drought that this country has been facing. I believe those are some of the key issues that any aspiring politicians that want to sit at the helm of the position of this country in the name of the president must be talking about for the last 4 or 5 years. But I've not heard him engage himself with the people and for him to keep them engaged to a point where they know that he will be running. I've not heard him do that. And so the question is, I don't know what he has in his sleeves again to present to Kenyans to be able to elect him. And sometimes I wonder whether Abduba Dida is coming out here to appeal to the Muslim community because he's a Muslim, and so he's saying, you vote for me because those guys are not necessarily going to vote for me. You've seen him go there with family members. It's not bad to go with family members, but I will expect representatives from other places of this country that he's not having other than his community. And so I really don't think Abduba Dida is going to bring anything on the table, neither is he going to teach this country anything that we don't know.
All right, of course, we're going to take a short commercial break. We'll be back. We continue with our coverage of this submission of nomination papers. Mike Agwana was just giving us views on Abduba Dida, who is set to present his papers. Similar to it at All Saints Cathedral with NASA flag bearer Raila Odinga, and Sam Gituku is at KCC. We take a short break. We'll be back with this and more. Stay with us.